So, on my first video, my feedback was not from student teaching. It was just from like my methods courses and stuff. But the feedback that I've gotten from student teaching was really helpful. And I don't think a lot of teachers, cooperating teachers, do this. And so if yours doesn't, or if you really want this feedback, I would definitely ask them to do this, because feedback is important to grow, and I definitely grew so much from my cooperating teacher's feedback. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Like, you're a student teacher, you're not supposed to be perfect. And so, like, I at the beginning, my cooperating teacher only told me like positive things, and I was like, I think you're being too nice. Like, if there's things I need to work on, don't be afraid to tell me, because I need to grow. Like, that's how I grow. And she started coming at me with all of these things to fix. And at first I was like, oh, you were holding back. But I grew so much as a teacher because she was being honest. So here are some things that she told me to work on that hopefully you can learn from. When students blurt out, it's really important to put the expectation over and over again from the very beginning, because if one student blurts out, everyone will blurt out. So don't be afraid to give consequences and to really like put your foot down, I guess, when it comes to these things like blurting out, not raising your hand, not following expectations, because that can go from 0 to 100 real quick, and you can lose control of your classroom. Even though you're supposed to be teaching like the whole day or the whole lesson, don't be afraid to ask, especially like if you're doing groups, can you please teach this first small group and then I'll teach the other two? Because you're going to learn by observing, and if you completely bomb a lesson, it can sometimes like be hard to catch them back up. So if you just ask, or like before school have them explain things to you, it would be a little easier for you. Never assume students know. Even if it's something that you might think that they know, explain it anyway. There was a time where I assumed everyone had read the story Snow White, and that lesson went completely horrible because nobody could remember the book, because even if they had read it, they hadn't read it in forever. So I should have read the book before I began the lesson. My handwriting is absolutely atrocious. And one of the, like, I don't know if your school has it, but like the ratings your teacher has to rate you on, one of them was handwriting. And she kind of pointed it out that she didn't even notice my handwriting was bad, but whenever she like read that, she was like noticing how my handwriting should be modeling what their handwriting looks like. And especially in first grade, like, we're working on handwriting. So work on your handwriting before you get to student teaching or teaching at all. Don't be afraid to stop and ask questions. There was a time where I was doing a running record with a student, and I just told her, let's pause for a second, and just walked up and asked my teacher a question. I think it's better to ask than to make a mistake, and she noted that in her records. So yes, and I just wanted to read you one thing, because when she said this to me, it made me feel good. So she said, I think you're doing a fabulous job. I think you can handle the room without me. I try to help when it benefits the students, like tips or like being an extra person in small groups. But if you need me to step in or out, just let me know. And I think that's exactly what you should ask your teacher to do. You're there to learn, not there to be a perfect teacher. So if your teacher needs to butt in for things, like, ask her to butt in. If you don't know something, like, ask her to help. Or like, there were some lessons where we literally co-teached because I didn't know what I was doing. And so I think it's important for you to have that, because you learn and you grow from it. So yes, that is just some things that I have learned or my teacher has told me to kind of think about, and I hope these things help you. honestly, your teacher will most likely be really positive about about the feedback, just like mine was. So if you feel like you need to work on something, ask her. There was a time where I was like, you're telling me I'm doing really great in my reading groups, but I don't feel like I'm doing really great in my reading groups. And she said, oh no, I still feel like that, and I've been teaching for 20 years. Reading groups are just really like overwhelming. And that made me feel so good. Like, it wasn't just beginning teacher problems. Like, reading groups are just hard to teach. And that helped me tremendously. So thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if I can help you with anything else. You're going to be an amazing teacher, and I hope that you found this video helpful. Bye. Have a good day.